largely they're coming in with a certain number of weeks. And the number 15 is mentioned. I haven't agreed to any number. I'm going to see. We want to take an issue that was very polarizing and get it settled and solved so everybody can be happy.
And there it is, Donald Trump doing a little campaign rally there about the border signals. No, we're gonna have a federal abortion ban. And I haven't decided on a number necessarily, but it's something that we need to talk about. And we're gonna break it down and why you should be worried about this. But first, I do wanna remind you of the bait and switch that he played on the American people. Take a look at this.
They have gone, much different than a lot of people thought. But everybody on both sides said it has to be in the states. We did a very good thing, a very big thing, a very important thing. Probably hurt the Republicans because a lot of Republicans really didn't know how to talk about it.
So do you get what he's doing there in those two different clips? Which, by the way, like if we could bring up this tweet, we're like a moment apart. He says, I did an important thing. Everybody said the states need to decide. So I gave it to the states. But you just said you're gonna pass a federal abortion ban, everyone. Do you get the inconsistency there? It should be up to the states. Except for the states that don't want to ban it, in which case, screw them, we're banning it. And by the way, we told you when they first started talking about a federal ban that whatever number they throw out is not the number, it's a starting point. But we had no idea here at the Damage Report how right we were and how fast they'd move. Because I want to remind you of what Trump said, what was reported back on February 16th. Bring up this headline. That was 2 weeks ago. He was privately expressing support for a 16-week abortion ban. 2 weeks later, it's now a 15-week abortion ban. You've lost a week of your rights in 2 weeks. If we project forward by election day, what's gonna be left? But we already know this is true. It's not 16, it's not 15, it's a ban. That is the only thing that will satisfy the right, and Donald Trump has to satisfy the right. That's the direction it's going in.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube.
And look, I brought us back 2 weeks ago. 2 years ago, Republicans were arguing for a 22-week federal ban because they said that's when fetuses started to feel pain. That's not true, that's not actually based in science, but that's what they were saying. Then 6 weeks were chopped off. Then another week was chopped off. What's gonna be the stupid pseudoscientific excuse for why it needs to be 13 weeks next month? But we know that that's the direction they're going in. And they should be really worried about a national focus on the fact that they're gonna try to ban it federally, because 61% of the American public, the vast majority, think that abortion should be legal in all or most cases. They think that, but that isn't worth much since this is America, which is technically called a democracy, but you can see how much that democracy is worth in practice. Jason, thoughts?
I am pro-choice. I'm going to say that. I'm probably going to get flack and flame from people, but I don't care. I think as a man, it is never, if I'm not contributing to any facet of the woman and the child's life, I have nothing to say. And a lot, I think that this is such a loud topic by people. I know we're talking about this before we went on air, John, but this is a loud topic by people who aren't experiencing what some of these people who are seeking an abortion are experiencing, right? Like there's always nuance to things. Getting back to the 16-15, and pretty much there's not going to be a time limit. It's going to be, as you said, no abortions, done, period. Handmaid's Tale. That's you can't do it. You can't do it. Leaving it up to the states where there are states who are saying, yes, please come. If you need to have this done, please come to our state. We will be a safe haven for you. I remember when this reached a fever pitch on social, there were people posting in California, if you need to come from a different state, you can stay with me. You can eat. I will take care of you. I will help you. I will take you to doctor's appointments if you don't have a way to do. If you do not have, but there were people who were opening their homes and potentially putting their livelihood, their lives in danger in some way, shape, or form by being supportive to the people who need to have this done. I say all that because again, this loud group of people who want to ban this for whatever reason, saying that life begins here, life begins there, which I think for some of them, they're saying it's based in science. Okay, but if you really strip it down and get to the nitty gritty of why they think the way they think, they also have it founded in spirituality and their religious backgrounds and their religious leanings and ideology, which they can do that as well. One of the beautiful things about being in America is freedom of speech, freedom of choice. But the human aspect of all of this, and I shouldn't say human because it is a human, but why are we not talking to these women or finding a way to have some common ground to where we can see and make this more of, again, back to empathy and compassion. And I know that, and I probably am missing nuance to all this, but I have to come from the standpoint, John, because I've had friends who were young, 16, 17, 18. Got pregnant. There was no way they could have taken care of that child, John. No way. Living in a state where the wages are terrible, not done with high school, no education, all the things that would be working against them to give not only the mother a better life, but this child a better life. There was no way that was a reality, but yet they were supposed to bring this baby into the world, only for that child to not have the best chance of having the best life.
Yeah.
But they don't think about that. These people who sometimes have, resources, funds, a lot of money, give their opinion, but have never been in that situation ever.
100%.
And that's what's so uncomfortable and frustrating to me.
I like your focus on empathy. I would say there could be another side to the Christian or religious side that focuses more on the empathy. I think there's some grounding in that and what Jesus said. But I don't want you to worry. It's not that some of these Republican politicians haven't thought about, what these kids born into very difficult economic situations, the life that will be ahead of them, and they have a solution. It's them getting a job in a chicken processing plant at 13 years old and working all night. So they do have a solution and they're legalizing it in more and more states. But anyway, look, I agree. I think that far too many people who have no experience in this area and no empathy or capacity for empathy in this area sure have a lot to say about it. I agree with you there.